Hey, welcome everybody. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Thursday night here in Cambodia, and so welcome wherever you are. We've got a guest here. We have Mama Kitty. Say hello, Mama Kitty. Mama Kitty, Mama Kitty. Yeah, she was walking by. Oh, there we go. Out of the way. So it's travel vlog night or morning, wherever, whatever time it is when you're watching. And today we're going to be going to Paris. And I've also been to Nice and Cannes, but these are just the pictures from Paris. So I guess we'll get right into it. Share my screen with you guys so you can see the pictures. Lemoyne in the house. Lemoyne in the house. Great. Just in time. Okay, so I'm going to have to share the entire screen. Yeah, it's great to see you here tonight, Lemoyne. And I enjoyed a nice hike earlier through the swampy forest of Texas. So go check out Lemoyne's channel, and definitely some exciting music you had with it. You know, I thought, oh, it's going to be a nice little nature hike and everything, but it was like some really heart pumping music that you chose. Great beat. And his channel is in the description. All right, so you guys want to see this. Ta-da! So our first picture is how I arrived in Paris. I went from London to Paris on the Eurostar. Is that what they call it? It's been a while since I was on it, but the Euro something, it goes through the tunnel, that tunnel that goes under the channel between London, between England and France. And that was my nice little Ubuntu computer that I had. Oh, I see. Now I get it, Lemoyne, because it says Poshbook. So the name of the computer was Poshbook, and the system was Ubuntu that I was running it on. Yeah, it was a good little computer. It's gone now. All right. So everybody knows this. Arc, the Arc of Triumph, Arc de Triomphe, or whatever. The name of the street, actually, you have many different streets coming like a star shape there to this big. So it's a big roundabout that goes around it. I was actually surprised by how big it was when you're right up there next to it. I didn't expect it to be so big, and it is. It's very big. I believe there's elevators or stairs or something. You can go up to the top. I don't know if there's a restaurant or gift shops or anything inside. I don't know what's a museum. I don't know, but I believe you can go inside and up in it. I didn't. And that flag that's hanging there is like absolutely huge. Of course, one of the main streets going in there is, I can never pronounce it. Like, it's like, if I was just going to say it in English, I would say Champ Elysees or something, but it's like Champs-Élysées or something. I don't know. There's a really weird way to say it. But the Arc de Triomphe. Okay. And this, we all know, is the Louvre, the great museum in Paris, with a very famous pyramid-shaped entrance there. This is actually taken from a car, like at a red light. And my poor friend was like so nervous. This couple, that they had come to Cambodia and stayed with me as couch surfers. I was a host on couch surfing. And so this was my first time out traveling. This is my first time to Europe. And so they returned the favor and let me sleep on their couch. And um, so they had picked me up at the airport, or were they actually at the airport, or did I have to like meet them? So I think they brought a car, and and no, we went from the airport to their apartment to drop off my luggage. Then we got in their car and drove around. Um, so the uh, your no private vehicles are allowed on this little street that goes through the middle here. Only taxis and buses. But he was trying to get he was trying to pass a vehicle before the turn, and he was like in the turn lane, but then he couldn't get over. Nobody would let him back in, so he had to make the turn. And so he was so nervous that he was going to get a ticket, but he didn't get a ticket. But so this is my experience at the Louvre. I did not go inside. I went inside another museum, which we'll get to. So then we went up here. There's a location that everybody likes to stand at and take their pictures of the Eiffel Tower. So there I am with the Eiffel Tower. And to be honest, at this point, it was kind of like, I've seen so many pictures, I've seen so many movies, whatever. It wasn't all that exciting to like see the Eiffel Tower. And we just stayed on this side of the river. There's a river between where I am and right next to the Eiffel Tower there at the bottom. And we didn't go across the river right there, like to go under it or anything. So at least not that I remember. But Eiffel Tower, I did like that little down in the corner. There's this little carousel. I thought that was cool. But we parked right next to that carousel, and I thought, great, we have this great parking. It's close. I thought we were going to walk over to the Eiffel Tower. Instead, we walked up all these stairs, these steps that were just like a mile high. I don't know how many, but and we were just getting started. Oh my goodness. So here's Notre Dame, all lit up at night. So this is one of my favorite Paris pictures. Obviously, this is before the fire. Well, I mean, the fire was on the backside, but so maybe it's not so obvious. But yeah, it was maybe around 2010. Notre Dame. And of course, a little bit earlier, before the sun went down, I had to be the hunchback of Notre Dame. I love having fun. I love having fun with pictures. And so this is my hosts, my friends, and this elevator was just like so big. I don't remember. Maybe it was like where their apartment was. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like in the airport. I don't know. But it was just so big. I had to get a picture of this elevator, and there's doors on both sides. I mean, you could probably fit 20 or 30 people in there. It's huge. You could fit a car in this thing. It was so huge. And this is one of my favorite little pictures. So then the next day we went out, and so this is a very famous spot of a metro station sign and a light. And of course, that very typical French architecture. Yeah, very, very nice. And then we went up some stairs. So this is right near Montmartre. So here you can see we proceeded to go, and you think, oh, okay, yeah, I can make it up these steps. But then once you get up to that top landing, there's more steps and more steps and more steps. Europeans are used to walking a lot more than Americans. Americans drive everywhere. Hmm. And so this is what I told my friend. He's like, "What do you want to see?" And because there was only a couple days, right? So you got to limit it down. I said, "Well, Renoir is my favorite artist, my favorite French Impressionist artist, and so anything to do with Renoir would be awesome." And so he found out that there was this studio that all the French Impressionists used. Monet, who taught, I mean, Manet, who taught Monet and Renoir and like Seurat and all those famous French Impressionist type artists would hang out at the studio at the top of Montmartre. And so this is one of the garden. This is the garden in that in the on the grounds of this studio. Um, there was an admission to go inside the actual studio, and so I needed to save my money, but it was free to like walk around. And the lady was so nice. She told me that because I knew that I needed to go to a museum, I thought I'd go to the Louvre and try to find my favorite Renoir picture painting. And she said, well, actually, the Musée d'Orsay, Orsay, no, Orly is the airport. Musée d'Orsay has a larger collection of French Impressionists. I said, oh, okay. So I decided to go there later in the afternoon. But so this garden area, I think, if you look at a lot of the French Impressionist paintings, you will see how they would paint in this garden. There's another view. There was this big pond. You can just imagine them sitting there with their easels painting. And this is also from Montmartre. It's a vineyard, and apparently it is the only vineyard in Paris. Of course, there's lots of vineyards in France, but this is the only one in Paris, and it's like the oldest vineyard. It's a very old vineyard. And but yeah, you can kind of see the cityscape. Beautiful, beautiful. This is just a nice artsy picture there at that studio, still at the studio. So on the top of Montmartre, there is this like artist fair that is just it's there 7 days a week. It's there, and I would have loved to have gotten like an original painting from a French artist, but I thought maybe we might circle around back to it, but we never did. So I didn't. I didn't get any original painting. But as we were walking around, there were so many smells. You'd pass a bakery and you have that yeasty bread smell. You'd pass a flower shop and you have all the flowers. You pass like, I'm thinking of meat, but like a charcuterie or something. I don't know, like where they're cooking the meat and it just smells. I mean, and then restaurants and just that's one thing that you can't get in pictures or in movies is the smell. And there were just wonderful smells everywhere. And then I got it's like, oh my goodness, something smells so good. I have to find out what it is. And I went into this patisserie and they had these fresh macarons and this was a pistachio one, and I took a bite of it and I was just in absolute heaven. And you can see it's almost gone. And I was like, oh, wait, here, take a picture of me. I have to savor this moment, you know. And to this day, that is like my absolute best favorite memory in France. Lemoyne says the market reminds him of some parts of New Orleans. Of course, yeah, because there was a lot of the French influence there. It was part of France. It was a French colony before America. And they sold it in the Louisiana Purchase. Yep. All right. And so this is just a little alleyway that we're walking down as we're walking around Montmartre, and you can see in the background the dome of the Sacré-Cœur, which I guess is Sacred Heart, which we will get over to. And there's just another door. I love doors. I have doors from England and Ireland and Scotland and everywhere in China, Macau, Hong Kong. I love taking pictures of doors, but beautiful ironwork there on these doors. And so here is the Sacré-Cœur. Again, you have to pay to go really on the interior. I think there's just an area at the front where you can step inside just a little bit. But so it's like we didn't, so I wasn't going to pay the money to go inside. All the beautiful stuff is, well, I guess there's beautiful stuff inside, but it's beautiful on the outside too. And this is where all the famous gargoyles are, the rain spouts made with gargoyles. And I believe our next picture is a close-up of one of those. There you go. Now, when I was in Las Vegas, with the Las Vegas Art Museum, what do they call it? LVAM, Las Vegas Art Museum, maybe. And they had an exhibit. I actually had a painting in an exhibit there once. And there was a man, the artist that was being showcased, he was talking about his different paintings and stuff. And he mentioned that there was like, an insane asylum or something where a lot of odd people would be put, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of thing, right? There was a real place where these weird looking people lived, and they would actually use real people for these faces of the gargoyles. That's what he said. And so on the steps there, because Montmartre, you can see how high it is above the rest of the city. And there's this area with some steps right in front of the Sacré-Cœur. And you can see I guess we call them buskers now. I don't know. I mean, maybe buskers is an old term, but we call them street performers, I think is the only thing I ever knew people called, but now they're buskers. You can see a guy with a guitar there in the front playing some music. It was really nice. And you just sit and relax. And there was also a guy that was doing these like acrobatic type tricks on a light pole. So he'd like bounce this ball on his head to his shoulder, to his knee, to his foot, back up onto his head, whatever, right? It was like dribbling this ball while he was climbing up and down this light post or lamp post. So that was quite interesting. And another favorite of mine is fire hydrants. So I don't know if this is actually for fires or if it was just made as like a water pump, a water, like if you needed a drink of water at one, back in history. I don't know, because that spout doesn't really look like it would be used for a fire hose, but maybe they have some kind of attachment that would go on there. But I don't think I'd ever seen a blue fire hydrant before. So that was nice. And as we were meandering down the path on the other side, so instead of the stairs that we came up, we went down on the other side. And there were nice little green areas where people picnic. And nice little cafes. We always think of, French culture as having cafes and people sitting. And so this is like right when we got down to the bottom. But I just wanted to kind of frame the picture a little bit with the trees and everything. But so many people out there sitting in their cafes. Windows. Lots of colorful plants on the windows. And of course, that's kind of a pattern shot, close up of a window. You know, I apologize for that film strip on the bottom. It kind of uh, blocks the lower part of the picture, but you get the idea. And this was just so colorful. All those flowers up there. I think this was in like the Ethiopian part of town or something. So it was very colorful. A lot of Black women that had like these like wrap around things on their heads and big flowery, what I would call a moo kind of thing. I don't know what they call them, but you know, just a very big flowing gown type of thing. And so there was like a lot of color in this area, and I thought that was how cute, all those different flowers arranged like that. There I am I think I'm getting a SIM card. I don't know. I mean, I was looking at that. It almost it's not a phone. Is that my camera? My friend's probably taking a picture with my camera. But I know I went into this shop to get a SIM card because I needed to have a local SIM card, being that I would be attending the Cannes Film Festival, and I would need to be able to communicate. So maybe that's the box that the SIM card came in. I don't know. I love this picture. You know, at first glance, it might look kind of blurry and the lighting is all weird. And then I thought, you know what? I mean, it just happened like this. So a lot of their subway stations are very old, you know, like 100 years old or something. They're very old. And they, oh my gosh, they connect like one line to another line that are they're very distant. They're very far apart. And so like these tunnels that you have to go through. So it looks modern. It looks like a walkway, but you go up some steps and then you turn and then you go down some steps and you go up some other steps and you turn in different direction. You know, you're zigzagging all over to get to, I mean, I'm really good at traveling and metropolitan transportation, whether it's buses or subways or whatever. I'm really good at that, with navigation. I mean, I got lost a couple of times trying to get from one platform to another platform. But, and then, you know, the more I looked at this one when I first saw it, it's like, you know, that's just really cool. So I love this picture. More windows. I mean, the architecture is just amazing all over the place. A little shop of curiosities. I thought that was interesting, and snapped a little picture. Beautiful blue doors. I love blue. Oh, you know what though? This number 35, this might actually be, so my friend looked up, since I said I liked Renoir, looked up what information he could find and discovered the address of the house that Renoir lived in. But he lived up in the attic, you know, and they have a special word for the attic, but it's the attic. And I think this might have been Renoir's house. And then this is just somebody's random door. I think that there was like kind of a Veterans Day, you know, holiday for them. And so a lot of places had these little bouquets on the door, but the contrast between the yellow mailbox and the flowers and the black door and everything, I just thought it was kind of cool. It says the name of the person. There's Robert Desalmard, something like that. 1944, pour la libération de Paris. So for the liberation of Paris. I know that much. So now we are at the Musée d'Orsay, or de. I think it's just like a D apostrophe. Musée d'Orsay. I don't know. I learned how to say it while I was there, so I could say it right. Because you have people saying it. It's been so long, and they have this huge clock tower, and then but you're inside looking out, and so that was pretty cool. And so this is not my picture because they said that you were not allowed to take any pictures of the art. So I didn't. But this is my favorite Renoir that I love. That is the reason I want. And I was so happy because if I had gone to the Louvre, I wouldn't have seen it because it's here. Right. So that was the best tip that lady gave me at the studio. And I was amazed at how big it is. It's like, you imagine if these were real people, it's a little bit larger. Like, so the people in it are like a little bit larger than the life size of a person. I mean, it's a big painting. I just stood there and soaked it up for a little while and then moved on. Degas, Monet, Manet, Seurat, all kinds of, there were sculptures and paintings and all kinds of different things. And so this is the lobby kind of area of the museum. And just amazing structure. I think it was safe to take a picture there. I think it was just they didn't want people like taking pictures of the art itself. And so my friend, was so excited to cook paella. I had never heard of paella. I'm like, what's paella? And it's a Spanish dish that, as you can see, there's like shrimp and mussels and things served with rice. It's a rice base, and they're so proud that they know how to cook this. And I told them I don't really like seafood that much, but okay, I'll try it and everything. So especially when you have to like peel the skins and everything off, and like when you have to work for it, I'm kind of, when it comes to food, I'll spend 3 days preparing for Thanksgiving, right? Prepare. I love cooking. I was a chef at a ski resort, steak, seafood, pasta restaurant. And when I sit down, I just want to eat. So it's like, I don't like salads that have like big, like you cut a tomato in half or in quarters. You know what? I'm going to, no. So a lot of times I'm sitting there like cutting everything into small bite-sized pieces, and then kind of tossing the salad again. Not this. I'm just saying in general. And then like tossing the salad so that everything's all, I want to get a little bit of everything in my bite. Not just one, chunk of tomato, or such. So yeah, I've been with people with like a whole lobster or crab, and you got the little forks, and for them, the way my friend Sherry said, it's like a treasure hunt. That's how so that's their perspective, right? It's not work. It's a treasure hunt, and they got to find all those little pieces of meat that they can eat in all those little legs and stuff. And I'm like, okay, great. Different people have different perspectives, and that's awesome. As for me, when I sit down, I want to just eat. I don't want to have to work at eating. Henry de Toulouse-Lautrec is one of your favorite French painters. Cool. The name sounds a little familiar, but I can't remember like one of his pictures. I can try. We haven't had any glitches, any pauses yet. I don't want to jinx it, but maybe when we're done, then maybe I can look him up on the, I'll share it. I'll share a tab. I can look it up. Oh yeah, because here, this is the last one. I know I had shown some random pictures weeks ago and talked about this lady. I've actually seen her in some movies or something, like someone strolling around and she's there in the background. It's really cool. But that music box thing that she's got, I don't know if you can see, it's like a player piano, right? Here's this piece of paper that's got little notches in it that allow the different ding, 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 probably kind of like a xylophone or something inside. I don't know exactly what kind of instrument is like inside, but it's the same principle as a player piano. But she's got to hand crank it. You see her hand is on this crank. So she's got to turn that crank at a very steady pace so that the music keeps time. Meanwhile, she's singing and she's just all, motioning with her hand as she's singing. It's just fluid the way it's moving, right? But that other hand is keeping time. And she was singing that La Vie La Rose or whatever, la 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 la. That one, she was singing that, and so this was like another great moment in Paris. This would be my second best moment in Paris. All right, so that's it. 38 pictures today. So I'll stop sharing this. And let's see if I can, oh shoot. I don't think I can copy that. It doesn't let me copy the comments in StreamYard. If I move the mouse over to be able to copy it, then it just shows me Let me see if I can put my only options. If I click on the little thing, put user in timeout, ban user, and delete their comments. I'm not going to do that. So Henry, okay, if I put Henry Day, TOU, I bet you it's going to come up. So let me get that ready. Let me get a tab open. Oh, see. You guys with me? Okay, so there he is. So let me come back over here to StreamYard. Hopefully you guys, okay, good. I'm still here. Oh yeah, share screen. I think it's like when you walk into a room because you went in the room to get something and then you forget what it was you came in there to get. I had one of those moments. Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah, see, once I start doing other things, it starts freezing. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm sharing it. All right, so this is the guy. Oh, yeah, like that would be Art Nouveau. Yeah, because there's Art Deco but there's Art Nouveau was first, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, look at all that. Okay, artworks. Yeah, definitely has some of the impressionism going on. Show more. Yes, I want you to show me more. So he's got the Moulin Rouge, the circus, Moulin de la Galette. I see, he's got some like risque stuff going on, and then some basic portraits that I guess he needed to do to make his money. But then, yeah, when you get to these posters, that's definitely the Art Nouveau. In bed, I better not show anymore because I might get some kind of copyright strike or something. Not copyright, but explicit content. And alrighty. So, any other comments or anything? Stop sharing the screen. Any questions? And then next week we'll just need to do a normal ramble, not going through any documents or anything like that. So then, Lemoyne, you can come up and we can have a conversation. I think that's always good. But maybe I should go ahead and end the travel. That way other people, and sometimes, I'm this way too. If I see something that's 2 or 3 hours long as a replay, I don't have time for that. Right. But this way for the replay, maybe people will be encouraged. 30 minutes. That's not a problem. Let's check it out. And maybe some more people can also enjoy my travels in Paris. I bet you that's one of those silent S's in French, which I didn't realize they had silent S's until I moved to Cambodia because there's so much French influence here. And that's like Lao is actually Lao, not Laos, because the S is silent. But finally, someone explained to me the reason that they put a silent S on words is because they have all these like masculine and feminine words, right? And like endings on words. So you need to know if you're gonna add something to the word, you have to know whether it needs to be masculine or feminine. And so that's that. If it has the S, it's one way or the other, and that's why they have it. But don't like it, but it makes sense. Yeah, good times. And so next week we'll go back on over to Asia. I think maybe Macau, because that's a really interesting one. Macau has Portuguese influence as well as it's like a Las Vegas. I mean, literally, I think it was Steve Wynn went over and built some casinos in Macau, and then others followed as well. So there's a Venetian and other mega casinos. So you've got that side, and then you've got the old Portuguese side. Of course, a lot of Chinese influence as well. So it's a really nice cultural blend, and so that's where we'll go next week. So thank you so much for joining me, and I really appreciate you sharing these experiences together with me. And I just want to share my love with you, my love that transcends time and space. So wherever you are and whenever you are watching it, my love is going to reach you. And so that's it for tonight. Be safe. From Lemoyne, be safe, be careful, and peace. All right. So catch you next time. Next live is on Sunday for anyone who would like to join that. And then Tuesday for the ramble. All right. Bye.